over a short conversation. Today, we have got with us three such personalities. First one, a very dynamic personality, someone whom you can trace sometime in the traffics of Indore, sometime as a radio jockey in radio stations of Indore, sometime as a budding entrepreneur taking up the Matiwala startup. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome multi-talented, multitasking personality, Shubheji. Tanvi, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we are very excited to welcome the other guests, our super seniors, Mrs. Anusha Chandrasekhar and Alok Paul, alumni of IIM Raipur and co-founders of Very Lush. Welcome, ma'am, sir, to our talk show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thanks a lot.
So, Umanshu will start with the introduction of guests. A little more about them. Yeah.
Right. So let me start with our introduction of the guest. Today we have Mr. Alok and Ms. Anusha. So Ms. Anusha Chandrasekhar, ma'am, is a 2015 batch IIM Raipur graduate and an engineer by qualification. She is the co-founder and CEO of Very Lush. She has previously worked in companies like Deloitte and TCS. But she is a designer, a dreamer, a doer by passion. She dreamt to style up the nation with her stylish yet affordable clothing lines. With her in-depth knowledge of fabric, design, pattern, she drives the force within Very Lush, which she co-founded with Mr. Alok Paul in 2017. Mr. Alok Paul, sir, is a 2015 batch IIM Raipur graduate and IT engineer by qualification. He is the co-founder and CEO of Very Lush. He has previously worked in companies like R2, Accenture, and Infosys. He manages the online channel operations, digital marketing for Very Lush. With his knack for numbers, eye of details, and vision for future trends, he provides valuable insight for business development. Over to you, Tanvi.
Okay, let me introduce Shubhi Jain to you all. So Shubhi is an alumnus of SIBM Pune and a founder of Matiwala, which provides installation of gardens and doorstep services to maintain them. She is also the traffic warden with Indore Traffic Police. She recently joined Radio Mirchi Indore as an RJ. So we welcome you all once again to Let's Get Candid. We have a short video of Shubhi. Could you please share it, Aditya?
This 24-year-old MBA student has been working as a traffic volunteer for the last 1 year, persuading people to follow traffic rule with a smile on her face and dance move that no one can resist.
I was working with an NGO as a part of my curriculum where I saw this opportunity offered by Indore Traffic Police to be a traffic volunteer. And at first it sounded me so fascinating that I couldn't resist myself to join it. Someone to shout at them or penalize them for not wearing a helmet or a seatbelt. You get angry, you get frustrated, especially when you are returning back home after a long stressful day. But at the same time, traffic rules needs to be known, needs to be followed for their own safety.
Shubhi slowly improvised her style and tone to approach people over traffic rules.
Punished for not following a traffic rule. What I started doing is I started thanking people, I started appreciating them by saluting them and thanking them with a smile for wearing a seatbelt or a helmet. And in this way, I was indirectly able to communicate the violators who were not following the rule. Well, I mean, even above my expectations. People who were not wearing seatbelts started wearing it, looking at the ones who were being appreciated for doing the good thing.
Her beautiful smile and her heartwarming gestures made people listen to her and obediently follow the traffic rules.
So happy when people smile back at you because they expect you to scold them, and on the other side you instead smile at them and request them to follow it. You know, it is the best feeling in the whole world, and I look forward to
job is truly an inspiration for young India. If you find the story of Shubhi inspiring, do share it with your family and friends. For more such inspiring stories, keep watching The Better India.
Thank you
Hey,
so
thank you
much.
so much for
Aditya.
sharing this
Yeah.
video. I had no idea आपके video दिखाने वाले हैं, so thanks again.
Thanks a lot, Shubhi. So one thing which is common among all of us who is present in this meet is three letter, that is MBA. So just a one opening remark from all three of you regarding your MBA journey. If I talk about Alok and Anusha, it was way back 7 or 8 years back, but for Shubhi it's quite recent. So just an opening remark, how was it, and what was the learning that you got out of that?
I am different from the other two, like Alok sir and Anusha ji, is that मुझे तो सिर्फ 10 महीने MBA करने का मौका मिला. Rest went online just like you guys are doing it, and you can completely understand. But I was fortunate enough that I got 1 year at least on campus, because that वो जो लाइफ का फेज होता है वो दोबारा तो कभी भी नहीं मिलता. And since I belong to Bina, which is my hometown is Bina, which is a small town, so for me, getting the city exposure and studying the people who are more competitive than me was a good learning curve in my life. But apart from that, of course, MBA is MBA. So, ho gaya. That's it.
I think Alok and I had a really great experience too in IIM Raipur. Without doing MBA, I don't think it would have been possible to start this company, which is Berilash. So even during the lectures, I always had this idea in mind that I'll be starting a fashion brand. So every concept that was taught, I could relate and apply. And that is what has helped me greatly. And we were very lucky that we met each other, Alok and I. We are very good at different things. In our company right now, I'm handling the designing and the production and all the creative part, whereas he handles all the operations. So without one of us, it would have never worked out. So yeah, we were destined, to go to IIM Raipur and form this business idea. So I think it was a great experience for us.
Yeah, for me too, when I look back, it's not that long also, right? 7 years back, I think, right? But initially, I did have some experience, right, before joining IIM Raipur. So it was quite difficult to adapt, after working for 3 years and then coming back and, going to classes and studying and all these things, right? But overall, it was a great experience. And the reason for, me joining or coming for an MBA was because I always wanted to start something of my own, right? And when we started our journey in IIM Raipur, each and every day we were learning, and that really helped us understand. So we had ideas, we had many always we used to think about what can be done, what are the gaps in the market and all these things, right? But actually executing it and how you come about it, like that is something the mind or the ideas got structure after the MBA, right? And it was something without it, it will be very difficult, or it wouldn't have the growth at which we at the pace at which we are running right now, right? I think we would have obviously learned on the job, right? But it would have taken more time, right? Like, even if you look at the industry where we are in right now, it's apparel and textile industry, which both Anusha and I were not experienced in. But as we got into the market, we learned on the job, right? But it took us time, because we did do something again. There were some things which were not done correctly, then we did it in a different way, right? We learned on the job, right? But with the MBA and the exposure what we had of the various case studies and all the peers what we had, right? They were from various backgrounds, and that was the best experience we had, right? when we were working on projects together, and we were lucky enough, 2 years we were in college and not at home. So that is definitely added advantage, and I think it was overall a great experience, right?
Right, so so most of us like aim after MBA to get into a corporate job and look for a well-paying job. But and you guys also did achieve that. Like you were working in different companies after you're completing your MBA.
Right.
But then, how did you decide to go ahead and start with your businesses, like all three of you? And
Actually,
how did you make it this big?
yeah, so definitely I would like to start the see, basically when you look at the fear was always there, right? It's not about the money, but it's about even surviving and the basic necessities what you have, right? And once you are working, even before MBA, like Anusha also was working, I was also working. So self dependency and independence is something which we get, right? And then if we have to again depend on our families, or like siblings, brothers, sisters, right, then it becomes difficult, right? But we were lucky enough to have our family behind it. And my parents were always, my father especially was always inspiring me to start something of my own, right? Even before I joined Infosys after engineering, he was telling me that you should start something of your own. But at that point of time, I didn't have the confidence to do that, right? But like once we left the job, my brother was also very much involved in the business from the very beginning. So he put in his savings. Then I did it, and Anusha also did it. And Anusha's dad was with us from the very beginning. He helped us start the business, right? My father again helped us form the offices and the basic requirement what we had in the beginning. It was a very basic office to begin with, but it was something, like we came from backgrounds of Infosys and TCS, which are known for their campuses and work life balance and all these things, right? But when we went in, it was very difficult to begin with. Even paying the EMIs and basic things were also kind of difficult, right? But then we had to go, we had to do it. And when we started, we never thought about money. Like we never ever, like even today we don't do things for the money. That is something like follows. Obviously, with time, as you grow, uh, you'll realize and understand that it's not about the money anymore, right? It's about the satisfaction that you get in what you do, right? And that is more valuable than, because I have seen multiple. So I take a lot of interviews, right? Like there was recently a candidate from Amazon, like he left Amazon and he was looking for a job, right? So he had a package of around, I think, 35 lakhs, and he got an offer of 17 lakhs in some other company. And he left that, and he joined that, and he was interviewing with me for another role, kind of. But he did that because in 9 months time he left it, because he realized that the work what he wanted to do is not in line with what he was doing in Amazon, right? So see, basically once we get into it, you'll realize that it's not about the money. You need money for the basic necessities. Obviously, you have to pay the rents, the EMIs, all these things. Your education loan. I'm still paying my education loan, right? So basically, these are the things which you have to be fearful about, and you have to get it done. But then your near and dear ones will always be there to support you, and you have to have the leap of faith and go for it.
For me, I think it was the passion. I had such a strong passion, and I was really good at something. So I wanted to do something about it. I would have never been happy continuing my job in TCS or Deloitte. I always felt that, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be doing something else. And I always used to tell Alok also that, you know, I'm so much interested in fashion that even if I get a job in the fashion industry, in a management role, I think I'd be happier there. But then, you know, I got this idea that why don't I start my own fashion brand? And I've always been good at identifying trends and predicting what the market would like and all that. So that is when I just took a leap of faith, and with Alok's support and our family's support, I thought, you know, if we never try, we will never know. So I just made the decision, and I didn't quit my job right away. While working in Deloitte, I started doing research and all that. So when I saw that the market is ready for certain products which I had identified, which were not available in Indian market, that is when I left the job. And then after that, there's been no looking back, and we are going really strong now.
Okay, so for me, first of all, it was very interesting knowing both of your journey, Alok and Anusha. मुझे इतना ज़्यादा experience नहीं है जितना आपको है. I'm very new to this, but I have an experience in business. We have a factory. So मेरे पापा के साथ I used to work in his factory. So for me, taking a decision of starting my own business was not challenging at all. Hashtag बनिया खून. So हमारे यहाँ तो business ही चल रहा था. So I was lucky for that. And while I used to work in my father's factory, I was the only girl. Truck load कराना, unload कराना, जो एक typical काम होता है ना कि आप रात के 2-2 बजे भी घर लौट रहे हो, and your family is okay with it. So I was very lucky that way. Coming to something like, since I was into manufacturing and then switching myself towards service industry was difficult because आप दोनों बहुत अच्छे समझ सकते हैं, Alok and Anusha, like you get 10 ideas and then you filter out things. What is the trend in the market? What will actually work? Is it aligning with your personality, etc.? If I talk about plants, I was not into gardening at all. In fact, my elder sibling, she was in gardening, and we never thought that I will end up, ending up into this field. मैंने कभी भी नहीं सोचा था. But then वो बोलते हैं ना, धंधे से तो प्यार करना ही पड़ता है. So once I entered into this, I am completely surrounded with plants everywhere. Like मेरा left, right, front पूरा plants से भरा है. मेरे घर में मेरे लिए बहुत कम जगह है, and I have a lot of space for plants, and I am loving doing it. Initially, as Alok ji said, money is not the main thing, but of course you need it for the basic necessities. And starting a startup person, like the founder is a peon as well and the owner as well. And especially when you don't have a team and you start alone, you guys were very lucky कि आप college में एक दूसरे को मिल गए, so you have a good team. I was alone when I started this business, and this COVID thing happened. Bhagwan ki kripa. 1 year was online, 1 year was offline. I was researching on this idea, and I had no idea कि भाई online research तो छोड़ो, मुझे direct groundwork करना पड़ेगा. And then I started this company while I was a student. So I was a second year MBA student, and I parallelly started this company. I was knowing 0% about gardening, so I started doing things like बहुत ही basic उसमें बताऊं तो I was thinking कि future में कोई client मुझसे पूछेगा कि ये पौधा ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है. Like मैं बहुत basic में बात करती हूँ. That's why I'm giving you such examples. तो मैं क्या आंसर दूंगी? मैं ये थोड़ी बोल सकती हूँ कि I have no idea into it. वो पैसे नहीं देगा मुझे. Like who will value my company? So I thought of कि COVID है, सब्जियां उगाते हैं. Like many people did. Gardening industry को बहुत ज़्यादा hype मिला था after this COVID thing happened. And then while I was moving the pots, etc., being a national player, I had the capacity कि मैं 60-70 किलो का आदमी अपने कंधे पर उठा लूं. But वो गमले खिसकाते, I suffered sciatica. So after getting sciatica and an injury, it was very challenging for me. I was bedridden for a few weeks. And then फिर मुझे समझ आया कि the startup idea that I am working on needs to be modified because resources की market में कमी नहीं है. If I talk about the gardening industry, हर मोहल्ले, हर blocks में you'll find nurseries, n number of nurseries in your city. But there is a lack of a support. Like a person needs a helping hand. Like पौधों का फूल तोड़ना सबको पसंद है, but उस फूल को maintain रखना, उस plant को healthy रखना is something which actually needs attention. And as I said, being a national player, being such a strong woman, I couldn't move the pots itne sare. Mahine bhar mein I suffered sciatica.
what about the woman who loves gardening and having 100-200 pots at home? उनके लिए कितना chaos हो जाता होगा. Then I researched about a typical indigenous जो माली वाला segment चल रहा है इंडिया में, how things happen, are people satisfied or not. So one day I was sitting with DSP sir, and he was asking Shubhi क्या कर रही हो? So I told him that so ऐसा research कर रहे हैं. And then he said, Shubhi, being the DSP of the city, the only person जिसने मेरी नाक में दम, he literally said these words, एक बंदा जिससे मैं जीवन में परेशान हूँ वो है मेरा माली. No matter what, how many stars I have on my shoulders, but this Mali doesn't like नहीं होता है handle. And I was like, अपन बहुत सही market में है यार, बिल्कुल सही कर रहे हैं. Like even a person who is at this level is facing a problem with gardening, तो फिर अपन बिल्कुल सही जा रहे हैं. So I was fortunate enough कि research करने के लिए I had the people from various backgrounds. Because of MBA, I had the people from IIM. Because of the traffic thing, I had good contacts with police department. And because of my father, जो एक जिनको proper धंधे की, I'm using this word, मतलब जिनको सालों से धंधा करने की knowledge है, I had the contact with them as well. So I was very lucky कि सारी चीजें हुई. The only unluck was COVID, but I got the right time to research on the things before competitors could enter into the market. And then it all started. I shifted to Indore, and this traffic thing actually helped me a lot because since day one, you guys are in MBA, you can realize हमको day one से networking करना बड़ा सिखाते हैं कि networking करो. And this traffic thing helped me a lot. It was my main networking, and this city, this Indore trusts me a lot. Like इनको एक person, we बोलते हैं ना कि people don't invest in business, people invest in person. And because of this traffic thing, I had the trust of this city कि मतलब मैं एक client, I'm sorry for elongating this question, but ये बात समझ लायक है कि मैं एक client को was proposing the idea, and the time I went for the site visit, the person said, I saw you at the square 4 days before, and the deal was cracked. That's how things happen कि जब कोई इंसान आपको नहीं जानता है और उस समय आप कैसा behave करते हो shows your reality. And this is the real point why my deals get cracked very easily. Okay, over to you, Tanvi. मैं बोलती जाऊंगी तो फिर मैं बोलती ही जाऊंगी.
That's really amazing to know about these inside stories. So now my next question to the panelist is regarding the transition. So when you make career shift, so if I talk about Shubhi, she started as MBA, then Matiwala, then radio jockey work. She's also doing right now, and she's also fitness freak. About Alok and Anusha, from fixed salary going into the entrepreneurship. So, it's very challenging. And after that, one more components come into the picture, that is the log. Dunia mein sabse bada rog kya kahenge log. So what were your challenges and how you guys faced this, and what was your way out of this? We can start with the Alok and Anusha and then same.
Means I never faced anything like that, because I used to never think about it in this way. So like really, I never had any issues like that. But again, I would say when you say log, I have a lot of things. See, before we started Berilash a year back, I left the job and then Anusha joined, right? So that was in 2016. We started another company called Prime Seller Hub, which was into e-commerce consulting, right? So at that point of time, we made a lot of contacts from, like various kind of, backgrounds and various kind of people. They were online sellers, right? And then, till today, there are multiple people with whom we initially, built a relationship. They are still associated with us, right? So initially when we moved to an office, right, that was one of our clients' office, and we did not have to pay rent for a few months because we had such good relationship. We paid later, but again, cash flow was a big thing at that point of time, right? So even if it was delayed for a few months, it was a big thing. Then there was one more client, he was into denim manufacturing, right? And denim, he's still having that brand, right? And then, but with time, what happened is that he was a manufacturer of denim, and he is right now the whole manufacturing unit. What he has, right, like around 130 machines are there. So he manufactures exclusively for Berilash right now. right? So basically, most of like around 30% of our production happens from there. So I would say, like what Surbi said, networking and all. See, it is taught but if you have networking के idea से networking करने जाना है, that never works. I have seen that, genuinely when you build relationships, that is when it really helps, right? Like when you are trying to build a friendship, उससे फिर बाद में you never know कब क्या होगा, kind of, right? See, when we initially started with one of the clients who was based out of US, right, we didn't even know that he had 4 factories here in Noida. But then, and he was like one of the factories was empty, and then he could give it on rent or whatever, and he never thought of giving it in rent, right? Just because we were there, so either okay, I can give out this space to you. So when we initially built the relationship, it was never for that, right? But then it leads to that. Again with Rakesh, with whom we his company's name is Troyes, right? So with him we are doing, we never thought that he will manufacture for us, right? But he helped us in like understanding the business. He was the one who first gave us the first 4 machines, right? So he had like 80 machines. He said that okay, you if you want machines, I can give you these 4 machines, you start with it. Then there was one more client, who was helped us in actually setting up like the master pattern maker, who is still associated with us from the very first day, right? So we also got to know from that. So again, in business, it is very, very important to have these relationships today also. When we are looking for expanding into new categories, there were so many contacts what we made during 2016, 17, 18, right? Like when we were providing services to e-commerce other brands like similar to Very Rush, but from various fields, right? Like some of them were bag manufacturers, some of them were shoes manufacturers, like that. So we still have relationships with them. We do connect with them, and they basically even today, if we have to think about a new category, we think that how can we get someone from that. Even one of our employees, I think Surbi, you might find it interesting, but he worked with us for 3 years, and then he started his own. There were actually 3 4 employees who started their own from our company, and he is founder of the company called EcoFind. So they deal into home planters and balcony planters and these things which are made in Moradabad, right? So he has his own manufacturing unit also. Maybe after a call I can even introduce with him, so that like maybe you can find some synergies with that company. So basically I would say that like these kind of relationships go a long way, and but always keep in mind that never have the networking thing in mind that I have to network and create. That will never have any value, right? It's about building real relationships, and that is what I have learned in the last few years.
What you said that log kya kahenge, luckily I've never had to face that, because the moment I told my parents that this is something I've decided that I want to pursue and start a fashion brand, they were very happy and they completely supported me, even invested in the company, and even my in-laws and Alok, everybody was super supportive. But I think after a few months or a year, I remember I was about to quit Very Rush, because I had built a website myself and started selling a few products. Not a lot of sales was coming in. It was a really low point, and I was not making any money. And I thought that we can't continue like this. So I was about to quit, and I was telling Alok, I was crying in the night, and I was telling him that this is it, my dream, it didn't work out, so now I'm going to go back to a job. I'll start giving interview, applying, and so this is it. And Alok said, okay, let's do one more thing. Let's contact someone from Myntra and let's see if they are willing to take our products on Myntra. So Myntra is a big platform and they never entertain small sellers. You already have to be a big established brand in order to get into Myntra. So this was like a hopeless try that we were going to do, but still I was like, okay, fine, give me the email ID of the person. So the relationships Alok was talking about, right? So he had a here contact somebody from Myntra. So I sent a mail that, this is my website, these are the products, so if you are interested then we can have a meet. And the moment they saw the website, they came from Bangalore to Delhi, arranged a meeting, met me, and they were really impressed with all the ideas I had and the designs and everything with our website. And they were so happy with it. They immediately onboarded us and even asked us to be exclusive with them for 6 months, which worked out great. And initially, I think we did like 1 lakh revenue per month or something. But now we are doing 35 crore revenue. And Myntra a few months back
First month we
became an
did 6
investor.
lakhs. 6 lakhs we did first month. That was
Okay,
winter
first month we did 6
wear.
lakhs. I remember I kept refreshing the orders button, okay, we got 4 orders. Okay, we got 10 orders. So I was crazy like that. But now, Myntra even became an investor in our company a few months back. And we are again exclusive with them for the next 5 years. But the projection is that in the next 2 years, we will be crossing 100 crore revenue. It's nice how it all worked out.
So सबसे पहले तो you guys are very much motivating for me, क्योंकि I am in a start and I'm expecting कि future में मैं भी ये बातें बोल पाऊँ जो आप लोग अभी बोल रहे हो. So thank you so much कि आपने जो let's get candid रखा है वो हम तीनों का साथ में रखा है. So and very happy about it. So first of all I agree with Alok कि नेटवर्किंग में जब आप इंटेंशनली फेक तरीके से नेटवर्क बिल्ड करने की कोशिश करते हो ना तो नहीं होता है. बट ऑन द अदर साइड व्हेन यू ट्राई टू बिल्ड अ फ्रेंडशिप एंड वो चीजें ज्यादा वर्क करती है. एंड इट हेल्प्ड आउट इन माय केस एज वेल बिकॉज इवन इफ दे गेट द same thing at some other rate or a better rate, but still the confidence and the trust that they have कि the quality that we carry कोई और नहीं कर सकता. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ये जो होता है ना ये ट्रांजिशन कि वो किसी और पर स्विच कर सकते हैं, वो चीज इस फ्रेंडशिप से बहुत ज्यादा बेटर होती है. तो ये तो मैं क्लाइंट के पर्सपेक्टिव में बोल रहा हूँ. ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ कोर्स वेंडर्स के साथ भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है रिलेशन रहना, बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कब जाकर वो आपकी कंपनी को ही ऑनबोर्ड कर सकता है. बट एक और चीज जो आलोक जी ने बोली थी कि 3 or 4 पीपल उन्होंने खुद का ब्रांड चालू कर दिया, ये चीज. सो इन दैट केस इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माटीवाला, आई स्टार्टेड दिस अलोन. Then later on, I took people from my own village and the other villages that were nearby my town. So abhi dheere dheere their family is living in Indore. They are feeling better. They have that so-called what log kya kahenge in a positive sense ki wah ye to shahar jaakar kaam kar raha hai sort of. They are very happy about it because the industry that I am in, the major challenge is the direct contact, the unofficial contact. Once you book from the website and later on you directly call the Mali. And in order to avoid that, I took the people from my own village. कि भाई कहाँ ही जाएंगे, रहेंगे तो हमारे ही साथ ना. So on one side, I am very much attached to them and they are very much trustworthy also because being in service industry, you have to ensure the security factors, etc. Because you're sending your employees to people's home. तो वो चीजें देखना बहुत important था. तो ये चीज काफी अच्छी रही in my case कि I could onboard the people from my own villages. And they're very happy about it, coming to the new city, settling here. And guys, trust me, it feels so good जब तुम अपने देसी employee से पहली बार thank you सुनते हो या excuse me सुनते हो. Trust me, it gives an amazing feeling because जो एक focus था आपका, एक vision था कि you have to improve the living standards of the farmers. और जब वो चीजें you achieve ना इन छोटी छोटी चीजों में, it gives lot of satisfaction. Because I'm not just working for the clients or the people in the market, I'm also working for the other side. Like the farmers who are in the villages and they are not getting that kind of a respect what they deserve. And these are the things. So my startup, like, of course, sabka startup ek journey hi hota hai. And this journey has been very, very much interesting for me. ऑफ कोर्स सबके अप्स एंड डाउन्स आते हैं कि यू डोंट हैव द अमाउंट टू पे टू द वेंडर्स, बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, रेवेन्यू स्टार्टिंग में बहुत गिर रहा होता है, आप क्विट करने का सोच रहे हैं, इन माय केस मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था क्विट करने का, टच वुड, बट मुझे ना पैरेलली लोग जुड़ते गए एंड मेरी कंपनी और स्ट्रांग बनती गई. नाउ कमिंग टू द पॉइंट, लोग क्या कहेंगे, जिस आंसर के इंतजार में उमांशु और तन्वी आप थे, बिकॉज आलोक एंड अनुष्का वर लकी इनफ नॉट टू फेस इट, मैं इन दोनों के हिस्से का मैं मेरे ऊपर ले लेती हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे ये बहुत ही ज्यादा फेस करने मिला. बिकॉज सिंस आई एम फ्रॉम बीना, आई वाज लाइक फिटनेस फ्रीक तो ऑफकोर्स थे और बहुत ज्यादा खेलना पसंद था. सो वंस माई स्कूल एंडेड नाउ, आई हैड नो ग्राउंड टू प्रैक्टिस. मतलब मुझे दौड़ना बहुत पसंद था, मेरे पास कोई ग्राउंड नहीं था, बिकॉज अपार्ट फ्रॉम द स्कूल्स द ग्राउंड दैट वर अवेलेबल दे वर फुल विद बॉयज, एंड वहां पर एक लड़की जाके प्रैक्टिस करना, एंड यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड जो भी टैबू होता है. तो मैं सुबह 5 बजे जब रोड जनता नहीं होती थी रोड पर, रोड साइड्स पे जाके दौड़ती थी. दैट्स हाउ, लाइक एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको दे रही हूँ क्योंकि वाह, दीज थिंग्स आर एक्चुअली वेरी नियर टू माई हार्ट. तो ये चीजें बहुत हुई कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, बट my family always stood with me. Like my father, he supported me a lot. And इसीलिए मैं तो बोलूंगी मेरे पूरे खानदान से यदि कोई बच्चा बाहर पढ़ने गया था तो वो मेरी बड़ी बहन थी, एंड सेकंड वाज मी. I come from that background. अब धीरे धीरे आगे आने वाली जनरेशन के लिए डोर्स ओपन होते जा रहे हैं. अदरवाइज तो I did my graduation from Bina itself. So yeah, that's how it happened. But लोग क्या कहेंगे factor doesn't work जब आप खुद को लोगों के बहुत ऊपर बना लेते हो. And in this thing, no, multitasking helped me a lot. I was into n number of things, excelled in many things. और जो लोग तुम्हारी मतलब बिचिंग करने वाले होते हैं, यदि तुम उनको अपनी तारीफ वाला बना लो तो चीजें उल्टा हो जाती हैं. लाइक व्हेन दे से कि हमारे बच्चों को भी अपने साथ थोड़ा रखो, ये भी बोल्ड हो जाए या ये भी इन चीजों में लग जाए, तो फिर ऐसा लगता है भाई अपनी भगवान है यार, मतलब क्या इनसे डरते थे हम, and now they are the ones who are supporting me. So ये चीजें मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छे तरह से टर्न आउट हुई. रेडियो मिर्ची, if I talk about, so I'm trying to give the answers relating with my life, जो चीजें हो रही हैं. तो रेडियो मिर्ची was something that I never planned. आप सुन रहे होगे कि मेरी आवाज बहुत भारी है, और आरजेस की आवाज तो वो बहुत मीठी सी और बहुत ही अच्छी सी होती है, that people would like to listen. बट लोग हमारी आवाज के लिए नहीं, हम क्या बोलते हैं उस चीज के लिए हमें लोग सुनना पसंद करते हैं. एंड आरजे वाज समथिंग दैट आई नेवर थॉट ऑफ, बट मुझे सामने से ऑफर आया था, एंड आई वाज जस्ट क्वेश्चनिंग माई सेल्फ दैट विल आई एबल टू डू इट. एंड रेडियो मिर्ची इज अ ब्रांड विच इज फोकसिंग ऑन इंफोटेनमेंट. दे डोंट वांट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द पीपल, बल्कि मिर्ची एलिमेंट ऐड होना बहुत जरूरी है. And if I talk about myself, the kind of person I am a typical आकाशवाणी material जो एकदम साहित्यिक हिंदी में बात करना पसंद करती है. So Radio Mirchi was challenging for me, but of course it added more shades to my personality, and अब और चीजें बेहतर होती गई हैं. So one tip that I would like to give everyone who is listening to me, especially the students, even if you go for 9 to 5 job ना, जो की high chances आप जाएंगे, because of course you are in an MBA college, do not leave your passion. साइड वाइज 1 घंटे या 1.25 घंटे भी करोगे ना कोई एक चीज, तो करना. यू वोंट इवन रियलाइज कि वो जॉब करते करते आप एक मोल्ड में ढल जाते हो, और आपकी नॉलेज बाहर की दुनिया को लेकर ना, इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर फील्ड ऑफ कोर्स बढ़ती जाएगी, बट जो अदर सेगमेंट्स हैं जो आपके अंदर थे स्कूल एज में, वो खत्म हो जाएंगे करते करते. सो डोंट लेट दैट, यू नो, don't kill yourself, don't kill your passion. चाहे तुम आधे 1 घंटे करो, do not prove yourself with anyone, you need not to validate yourself. बस खुद की खुशी के लिए कोई एक चीज एक्स्ट्रा जरूर करना. For me, traffic workout, because as I said, I was a national player, got injured, bedridden, now I cannot run. थोड़ा सा भी दौड़ती हूँ तो मतलब मुझे बहुत सोचना पड़ता है कि मैं दौड़ूं या नहीं दौड़ूं, मुझे इसके आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स क्या होंगे. एंड आई वाज द काइंड ऑफ अ गर्ल जो इस कोने से इस कोने में इतनी जल्दी चली जाती थी कि मेरे टीचर्स मुझसे बोलते बेटा थोड़ी लड़की बन. दैट्स हाउ इट हैपेंड विद मी. एंड देन दिस इंजरी थिंग हैपेंड. तो आप समझ ही सकते हो कि गेटिंग डिपेंडेंट ऑन अदर पीपल इज समथिंग इट हर्ट्स अ लॉट. बट अगेन दिस ट्रैफिक थिंग वाज समथिंग जो घर वाले वाज वरीड कि भाई मेडिकल कंडीशन का क्या होगा, बट आई टुक अप. एंड देन हाँ, सारी चीजें अच्छी हुई, एंड आज आई एम वेरी वेरी हैप्पी इनटू n number of things, and every single thing has shaped myself as a person what I am today. Over to you, Tanvi.
So I have a question for Alok sir and Usha ma'am. So we have a lot of interests and we want to start a business in something that we are interested in, which was what happened with you guys also. Like you went into fashion industry because like Anusha ma'am said that she was really passionate about that. But like you also mentioned that you had no prior experience in the fashion industry. So how did you guys go from being engineers, and we see engineers going mostly into tech businesses? So how did you get into this industry, and how like people like me who are interested in something else that I've studied about can get into a business like that?
I feel that if your passion is so strong, if you're so determined and you have very strong willpower, you will figure out things. In the beginning, we had no idea where to get the products from, how are they manufactured. We went to shopping markets, Sarojini Nagar in Delhi and such markets, and we were asking the shopkeeper, where did you get this from, who makes this for you? We were that clueless. But slowly, with constant effort and persistence, we Alok and I, we went to these markets every day for a few days, and we were talking to these people, trying to understand where are they getting these products from. Then one day it clicked that, oh, there are some big manufacturers, there are some big factories which manufacture, and some surplus stock comes here for the public. So we slowly figured out things, and then everything fell into place. In the beginning, we started reselling products which someone else made and branded it under Berry Lush. But we realized that those are neither our designs, and we were not able to control the quality, so that is not a way to go. Then in Delhi, we went to the markets, we went to the manufacturing areas, and we saw that there are some really small factories there who manufacture for brands even in small quantities. So we thought, okay, a big manufacturer will not manufacture for us because we are making very less quantity right now, so let us go work with the smaller manufacturers. And when we started doing that, we realized that they were not meeting the timelines, and again quality was an issue. And there we got an idea that if these people are able to manufacture in such a small facility, why don't we do it on our own? And we thought, okay, let us start with just 4 machines. So we had a really small office, a small room. We put these 4 machines and got 4 tailors, and we started making the products. And then we ensured that the quality is being met, the designs were all developed in house, and the demand slowly grew, and we had to move to a bigger factory and then another bigger factory. So that's how it went on, like from 4 machines we went to 20 machines, and then we went on to 120 machines. Even then we couldn't cater to the demand, so we started working with other manufacturers also. So right now we are working with around 10 manufacturers who are most of them are exclusively manufacturing for Berry Lush. So and even procuring the raw materials, in the beginning we didn't know that the fabrics come from mills in Surat, and that is where you will get a very good rate for the raw materials. But we had no idea. Even if we had a little bit of idea, we thought that you have to go there, you have to make some contacts. We don't know anything. So we went to the Delhi markets, and we started procuring fabrics from there. I and Alok personally, we would go and get all the fabrics in the initial days. Right now it's different. We have procurement manager and everything, and now we are directly sourcing from Surat because we are able to buy that high quantity of fabric. So the mills are working with us. Yeah, what I wanted to say was that you just have to have a very strong determination, and you should pursue your passion, and then everything will fall into place. You will work so hard that you will figure out everything on the job. To be honest, I never worked this hard in Deloitte or TCS, but right now it doesn't feel like work. It is so much fun. Every day I'm looking at products and making products and everything. Like, this is what I wanted to do, right? So it's not work at all. Nobody's telling me what to do. Nobody's telling me you have to submit this by Friday. I'm self-motivated. So this is what happens when you are doing what you love. that it doesn't feel like work. No, even if nobody's telling you anything, you will end up doing it yourself. And there is no timing for me, like I work in the midnight, or I work in the early morning, or some days I don't work at all. So I have this flexibility also, but whenever I work, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like something fun that I'm doing.
That's a great feeling, I'm pretty sure.
For me, like I would definitely, like advise or how to do it. If I have to share that, based on whatever I have experienced. See, when you're looking at any industry or anything, right? Like, and if if you think that you are passionate about it and you want to do something about it, today, without any investment, with zero investment, you can do something. Is that you can create, like for example, if you look at, say, Kylie Jenner, if you look at, various kind of influencers who have turned into entrepreneurs, right? They all started with something, right, in the social media. Like, so for example, if you are interested in, say, gardening, right, you start your Instagram handle, you curate images from various kind of places and showcase that thing in your handle, right? And then slowly with time, people will be coming to that and following, and they will understand that you are a thought leader or kind of an expert in this field. And then more and more will people will start following you. Create a niche for you in that, right? So there was one, like I was reading about it somewhere, that like how do we go about it, like when we are trying to create a direct to consumer brand, like a D2C brand. How do you go about it? Like, do you first create the product, then create the social media and the community around it, or do you first create the community and then you launch a product, right? How do you do it, right? The answer to that is that it's not either way, right? Like in Beryl's case, what happened, we were only focused on the product. We were reaching more and more customers through the product. And then till date we reached around 12 lakh customers, right? Or maybe 13 lakh customers who actually received our product. So that is how we created that community. Now and then after that, Instagram, if you look at it, people started following. Then we started creating a community there by like showcasing the user generated content. And then that is something is helping us today, right? And in case of, like, there was a friend of mine, he's still working, in Bangalore, in IT firm, right? But he was really passionate about automobile industry, right? Like modification of his cars and bikes. He was doing it throughout. Like when we were in college, he used to modify my bike also, right? So basically, he was very passionate about that. But what did he do about it? He started a YouTube channel, right? And it is called Moto Acoustic. Recently he started it, and what he does is that he visits various people owning different kind of cars. He does interviews, he creates video content and puts it in YouTube. Now through that he created a lot of subscribers, like around 9,000 subscribers, which is quite difficult today. It's difficult to generate so much of subscribers and all, right? So from that, then he started a small kind of a side hustle. What he's still working, but he started a, like a ceramic coating of your car. Like it's a specialized kind of a coating that is, you need not wash your car for a year. Kind of like once you have that ceramic coating, so you can just dust it. So that is something he started, and today he, in 3 months time, I think he has 100 customers who actually did that, and all the leads he got from that community of people who watched his videos and all, right? So today, if you are passionate about something, there are a lot of avenues and a lot of things which can be done. It's not only about capital investment that is required for starting. Like today, Instagram handle, a specialized Instagram handle of, say, automobile industry or a fashion or cosmetic is far more valuable than any kind of shop or anything like that, right? So these are the things which you can, with very minimal investment of your, obviously you have to invest your time, right? So time is a lot valuable. Now you cannot do random things. If you really think that you are passionate about something, you can work towards in that direction, right? And just one more thing I would like to add here, like when Tanvi, you mentioned that we are from technology background and we started April. Now you have to understand that without technology there is no business today. See, if you are not into technology business, you cannot survive. Right now, we are involved in more technology than when we were previously in our organizations. We were working as a developer, doing some coding. I was into coding, right? Some part of a module we were doing, right? Didn't even know what was the whole project doing, kind of, right? It was so minuscule. Today, when we are looking at our systems, what we have right now, maybe 8 to 10 applications we use on a daily basis, right? There is analytics which we have to do, there is order processing which we have to do, where there is like warehouse management, financial accounting, HR. All these things are all technology. Without that you cannot scale your business. Right now we are implementing a ERP, enterprise resource planning, in our company, right? It's a big project in itself. Many companies, big
Right.
companies, they try to implement ERP and it fails because of multiple reasons. We are lucky enough that Anusha, I are from technology background, right? And like we are able to understand these things very easily, and that will give us the competitive advantage over our competitors because they don't have that advantage, right? They are from
Right.
apparel market. We learned apparel how it can be done, but can they learn technology so easily? Not easily, right?
Right.
So that is the competitive advantage what we have. And so again, the thing is that any experience what you have, whatever you did in the past, nothing is of waste. Everything will be like utilized some way or the other, right? So you are in a whatever field you work, like even if it's a completely unrelated business, you will at least meet people, manage teams, see people, how team work, how does meeting get organized. So that will be implemented and used in your business, right? So basically like the thing is that to begin with, like if you're passionate enough, you can start with very low investment, and just like you have to be persistent, like really persistent. Then so when initially, say, we had one order in our website, right? It is a very like difficult time, like just one order. And we used to think that अगर 100 ऑर्डर आ गए तो यार लाइफ बन जाएगा, and इसके बाद तो और कुछ चाहिए ही नहीं यार, बन गया, सेट हो गया, kind of, like, but it's never like that. So now say we dispatch around 3,000 orders a day on a normal day. Sale के time 10,000 12,000 orders a day, right? So अब वो भी कम लगता है. See, wherever you are, you will always keep your goal much higher, right? मतलब ऐसे ही human being का tendency ऐसा है, right? Means you'll never be satisfied with what you are doing. So the thing is that start small. And again, just one thing, like today with all the startup का news and all these things, funding, unicorn, ये वो है ना, सुनते रहते हैं हम लोग. No startup is like less. मतलब कोई सोचता है कि यार मैं ट्रेडिंग कर रहा हूँ तो वो तो क्या है, ये तो टेक्नोलॉजी का एक स्टार्टअप है ना? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Somebody can do trading and make it really big. Somebody can do a technology business and scale up and get investment and all, right? There are many businesses, highly stable businesses. There is a friend of mine who is into they manufacture machines which is a homogen like basically like for it is used in bigger factories, like making sauce and milk and all these things, right? Big tumbler machines. So he is having this company for the past 15 years. He's doing it very successfully, but is not a single article you will see anywhere, no PR, nothing at all. I asked him, what about your investment and all? He's saying, I'm cash rich. Means he's sitting on cash. Matlab, he's saying, I don't know what to do with it, because it's a highly profitable business what he is running, right? So the thing is that no business is small, or like this is the kind of business I need to create. There was one guy, a friend of mine, like I was saying that what we are doing and all, it was quite small then he was telling me that, yeah, I cannot do after MBA and all, I cannot do this trading. बेच कैसे सकूंगा मैं, like he was passionate about a particular industry. I told him, you start small, you do, like he had a big dream of creating an analytics company around that thing, right? But when I suggested him that you can start small by selling these things online, you can start from Amazon, Flipkart easily. And he's saying that no, man, I can't do it. This is not what I am. I have to get this analytics app in place. And after 7 years also, uska app bani raha hai. Matlab, the thing is that you cannot see something as demeaning, और ये तो मेरे स्टेचर से कम है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जो मिलता है तुम्हें, जो सही लगता है करो. Like there was a time when Anusha used to sit in the warehouse and dispatch. Today we have like 25 people doing that, right? But at that point of time, she used to do the dispatch. When we moved offices, I carried boxes, like day and night to move from one office to other. We did not have the resources to do it. So the thing is that you don't have to think that this is a demeaning word. How can I do it? I come from this background. ये वो ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचना है. सोचना है कि any work is if it is towards your goal, do it, right? And don't think about what people will think and all. Like when I was carrying boxes and all, like some of the guards and all from other companies saying, "Yeah, आप तो company owner हो, आप क्यों box चला रहे हो? किसी और को बोलो." मतलब ऐसा एटीट्यूड होते हैं लोगों में, है ना? But the thing is that it doesn't matter. Some things you have to do, just do it. So I would say that this is a prime time when it is a democratic kind of a system which is there, right? Where anybody from anywhere can start their brand, they can become have their business, and this is the right time. 20 years पहले ऐसा नहीं था. कोई कुछ भी, मतलब Instagram was not there, right? So digitally तुम कुछ कर लोगे, ऐसा कुछ था ही नहीं. अभी आप देखो कि there are so many opportunities. कुछ भी कर सकते हो, है ना? तो you have more avenues to work towards your passion, right? Even in the 7 years time or 8 years time also, things have changed drastically. What it was and what it is today, it's quite different. Right?
Yes.
So again,
just one thing I wanted to
please.
add. Alok was mentioning, right, that a friend of his said that ये तो मैं नहीं कर सकता. So even I have heard things like that in the initial days from some of the relatives and some batchmates. Not I am batchmate, somebody else. But it's not even worth mentioning because I never cared. I really didn't. मतलब यहाँ से सुन लिया और छोड़ दिया. Like अभी मतलब it had no effect on me. So what I'm trying to say is, अगर कोई कुछ बोलता भी है, you don't have to listen. You don't have to take it seriously. Just सुन के भूल जाओ. So yeah.
Right. So if I sum up the message that we got from that is कि मंजिलें तो मिल ही जाएगी भटक कर ही सही, गुमराह तो वो है जो घर से ही ना निकले. And I'm sure our audience must have got this message as well. So now my question, next question is to Shubhi. So Shubhi, again, this is related to the mentality that we have usually. मतलब हिंदुस्तान में उसकी तो कमी नहीं है कि चोरी ऊपर से सीना चोरी. So when you go to the traffic, you ask people who are not putting in the helmet to put it. There must be some instances where you must have got not a very good response. And especially in our life also, we have such kind of people and negativity all around. In that point of time, how you maintain that positivity and the smiling mantra that you have?
Okay, so it is okay not to be okay, but being stuck in that something which stops your journey. So ठीक है, होता है, like negativity सबकी लाइफ में आती है कभी ना कभी, because the curve never remains like this. कभी नीचे कभी ऊपर होता है. So at that time it is okay to cry, ठीक है, take a break, but then उसमें फंसना नहीं चाहिए, because अगर आप सिर्फ राइज होते चले जाओगे ना, या अगर आप सिर्फ पॉजिटिविटी में जाओगे, तो there will be some point where you will face dissatisfaction because you are running from your feeling or you are running from your conditions. So it is very important to face that condition, but on the other side it is also very important कि सही टाइम पर भाई बॉस निकल लो उससे बाहर. अदरवाइज उसमें I have seen people who जिनको दुखी रहना ही पसंद है, like it is okay, but होता है कभी कभी मूवीज में ड्रामेटिक चीजें देखते हुए you start imagining yourself like that कि ये गाना तो मेरे लिए ही बना है या ये मूवी तो मेरे लिए बनी. It happens and that is okay, but उसमें फंसना is something जो आपके लिए बिल्कुल सही नहीं होगा. So first of all, थोड़ा टॉक्सिक लोगों से दूर रहना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. चेंज ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट बहुत ज्यादा फर्क लाता है, बिकॉज देर आर 2 पॉइंट्स. एक जब आप बहुत लो पर हो, और एक वेयर एवरीवन नोज यू एंड यू वर्कड हार्ड एंड यू हैव अचीव्ड समथिंग. बट जो बीच की जर्नी होती है ना, उस जर्नी में इफ यू कीप अफेक्टिंग योरसेल्फ विद द वंस जो आपके लिए बोल रहे हैं, वो बड़ा ही प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो जाता है. और उस समय फॉर मी लाइक चेंज ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट वर्कड अ लॉट, because especially when people will try to pull you down when you are in an initial stage. आलोक जी एंड अनुषा जी, आप बहुत अच्छे समझ सकते हो. जैसे कि आपने बोला कि वेयर हाउस में आप खुद पैक करते थे. मैं सो बिकॉज ऑफ द सोशल मीडिया ना, पहले तो ये चीजें इतनी नहीं थी. माई लाइफ वेंट लाइक SMS से सीधा पब्लिक अकाउंट पे आ गई. मुझे प्राइवेट अकाउंट वाला लेन कभी बीच में मिल नहीं पाया, जबकि मुझे आई यूज टू हेट सोशल मीडिया फॉर अ रीजन, बिकॉज एवरीवन वांट्स इंस्टेंट रिप्लाईज. एंड जब आप किसी से ऐसे बहुत अच्छे होते हो एंड ऑन द अदर साइड आप किसी से चैट वगैरह नहीं कर पाते हो, तो वो उनके लिए थोड़ा नेगेटिव हो जाता है. तो दीस थिंग यूज्ड टू हैपन. तो अपन ने कभी लाइफ में अकाउंट बनाया नहीं, बट देन दिस थिंग हैपेंड कि सीधे पब्लिक अकाउंट हो गया. और लोग छोटे शहरों में बड़ी जल्दी रिकॉग्नाइज कर लेते हैं. So Martiwala में me and my partner, later on I got a partner, we used to deliver the plants. मैं मुंह छुपा कर जाती थी and we used to deliver a lot of plants. स्कूटी में आगे भी है, पीछे भी है, जहां जगह मिल रही है वहां प्लांट की डिलीवरी चल रही है. Now we have a number of vehicles, we have delivery boys, we have मालीज. बट 12-12 फीट की नसैनी पे चढ़ के आई एम वर्किंग एज अ माली, बिकॉज जो टीम थी कमिटमेंट उन्होंने नहीं दिया. जो आपने बताया स्मॉल वेंडर्स होते थे, टाइमलाइंस मीट नहीं करते थे, बट अ कमिटमेंट इज अ कमिटमेंट. तो मुंह छुपा के. अब द बेस्ट पार्ट वाज सिंस आई एम इन इंदौर राइट नाउ एंड माय फैमिली लिव्स इन बीना, तो मेरे पास ये चीज एक अच्छी थी कि मैं छुपाकर कुछ काम कर लूं तो मैं मेरे पापा को नहीं पता चलेगा. अदरवाइज ये चीज बीना में करते हैं कि किसी के घर में जाके नसेनी में चढ़ के काम कर रहे हैं, तो वो तो प्रॉब्लमैटिक हो जाता. नाउ कमिंग टू द पॉजिटिविटी पार्ट, जो मैंने बोला ना, अदर थिंग्स. सो माटीवाला हैज ऑलवेज बीन माय मेन टारगेट, माय मेन पाथ. 24/7 entrepreneur का कोई टाइमलाइन नहीं होता है. 24/7 you have to work. It depends on you when you want to work. But the other things in my life helps me a lot to spread the positive. And जब होता है ना कि तुम्हारे कंधे पर पॉजिटिविटी फैलाने की जिम्मेदारी होती है, तो आप कभी कभी फेक करते करते उसको आपकी रियलिटी कब बन जाती है आपको नहीं पता पड़ता. This thing happened with me कि if I'm going for a traffic duty around let's say 3 weeks continuously, उसमें कभी कभी ऐसा भी तो होगा ना कि मेरा अच्छा खासा लाख रुपए का ऑर्डर एक बार में कैंसिल हो जाएगा. बहुत चीजें हुई. यू आर ऑन अ बैड मूड. अब ट्रैफिक पे जाके आप किसी और पे नहीं चिल्ला सकते हो क्योंकि उसको नहीं पता व्हाट यू आर गोइंग थ्रू. यू हैव टू कीप अ स्माइल, यू हैव टू बेयर विद इट. देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ पीपल, हर तरह के लोग आएंगे, लड़कियां लड़के, बुजुर्ग भी होते हैं, हर जेंडर के लोग होते हैं, हर तरह के लोग होते हैं, एजुकेटेड होते हैं, अनएजुकेटेड होते हैं. एक बार तो कोई व्यक्ति ऑफेंड हो गया था कि मैंने कार वाले को सर बोल दिया था और ऑटो वाले को काका बोल दिया था. तो some things are unintentional, बट हो जाती हैं ये चीजें. तो एट दैट टाइम जब आप अपने कंधे पर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले लेते हो ना दूसरों की खुशियों की, तो ये मतलब बहुत ज्यादा सेंटी वे में जा रहा है, बट प्लीज बियर विद इट. जब आप दूसरों की खुशियों की जिम्मेदारी अपने कंधे पर ले लेते हैं तो आपको भी नहीं पता चलता कि आप खुद कब खुश होने लग जाते हो. सो दिस हैपेंड विथ मी. अच्छा हुआ था, ट्रैफिक थिंग हेल्प मी अ लॉट टू स्प्रेड पॉजिटिविटी. और करते करते माय लाइफ बिकेम सो ब्यूटीफुल कि मुझे लगा कि शायद मैं सैड मूड में रहूंगी और ड्यूटी टाइम मुझे मिनिमम 20,000 लोग तो देख ही रहे, क्योंकि 1.5-2 घंटे में इतनी गाड़ियां आपके आगे पीछे चली जाती हैं एंड किसी को नहीं पता कि उसके पहले क्या हुआ है और उसके बाद क्या हुआ है. दे विल जज यू ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट 10-second ग्लिप्स जो उन्होंने देखी और उस समय तुम्हारे फेस पे मुस्कुराहट नहीं रही. तो बॉस उनकी शाम भी बिगड़ जानी है बिकॉज दे एक्सपेक्टेड यू टू स्माइल एंड यू डिडंट. तो दैट्स हाउ इट हैपेंड विथ मी कि मुझे ही नहीं पता चला कि मैं तो आई वाज लविंग द जॉब, आई वाज लविंग डूइंग इट. आई डिड इट ओनली फॉर 3 weeks एट दैट टाइम, but later on internship is not being carried forward. There were 1,800 students who were working along with me at that time, and अब मैं अकेली हूँ जो करती हूँ without expecting anything in return. There are no monetary benefits and etc. But the love that I received from the city and the respect that I received from city is over everything, like everything. And again, coming to the same point as I said, jab aap, when you work for your passion, you don't realize how positivity it adds to you. वो 1 घंटे ना आपकी बाकी के 23 घंटों की एनर्जी को बढ़ा देते हैं. So one hidden secret about me, I always wanted to be a police. Again, #Banya, नहीं जाने मिला because Banya feels like money is power. We realize power is power. तो नहीं जाने मिला, तो that is okay, but I am feeling the same thing in my heart for 2 hours जो एक पुलिस वाला 24 घंटे लेकर घूमता है, because you know the feeling of carrying the responsibility लोगों की सेफ्टी की अपने कंधों पर, वो बहुत बहुत अच्छी होती है, क्योंकि you have to hustle a lot on roads, like एक्सीडेंट हो गया, भाग कर जाना, किसी को बचाना, फर्स्ट एड देना, एक्सीडेंट होने के चांसेस भी होते हैं, उनको डिटेक्ट करना, कभी कभी तुम्हारे ऊपर ही गाड़ी चढ़ने वाली होती है, उस चीज को भी देखना, एंड आप तो पुलिस हो नहीं, आपको तो वो ट्रेनिंग मिली ही नहीं है, बट करते करते उस चीज को सीखना, एंड ओके, आई वुड एंड अप दिस आंसर शेयरिंग वन इंसिडेंट. विजयनगर स्क्वायर है, उस पर मैं ड्यूटी कर रही थी, एंड एक बुजुर्ग आया, ही वाज 75 years old, complete stranger to me. He came to me ऐसे सिर पे literally he tapped and said कि 75 वर्ष की मेरी उम्र है मैडम जी, मैं आपको पिछले 25 दिन से देख रहा हूँ, हमारा तजुर्बा गलत नहीं जा सकता, आप बहुत आगे जाएंगे. आउट ऑफ नोवेयर कोई बुजुर्ग इंसान आता है, और आप समझ सकते हो उनकी कांपती आवाज होती है, थोड़े छोटे छोटे दांत दिख रहे हैं, वो बुजुर्ग व्यक्ति जब ये बात आपसे कह के चला जाता है, इट फील्स अमेजिंग. लाइक उसी दिन मेरे साथ इंसिडेंस ऐसा हो गया था ट्रैफिक में, क्योंकि सारे गुड एक्सपीरियंसेस नहीं होते, तो आई वाज थिंकिंग कि मैं किसकी सेफ्टी के लिए कर रही हूँ और मैं ये क्यों कर रही हूँ. एंड देन उस समय दिस पर्सन केम इनटू माय लाइफ एज एन एंजल, एंड देन उन्होंने ऐसा स्ट्रेंजर ने आपको ये दुआएं दी थी कि आई केम टू द ट्रैफिक अगेन वेरी नेक्स्ट डे विद डबल एनर्जी. तो लाइफ मेरी इस चीज को लेकर बहुत लकी रही है कि जब भी कुछ नेगेटिव हुआ ना, तो कोइंसिडेंटली कोई एक पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेंजर ने आकर मेरे लिए कुछ ऐसा कह दिया जो मुझे पता भी नहीं था. When you become the reason for someone else's smile, you don't realize your life becomes so complete. And yeah,
that's really amazing to know that yes, we do have a few people in our lives जो आकर के सब कुछ चेंज कर जाते हैं. So over to you, Tanvi. We have a short rapid fire round with you all.
In the end, we have a fun game for you, rapid fire round. So are you guys ready? I think you should unmute yourself because it's a rapid fire round. Okay, so the first question is, what is your least favorite beverage?
Coke.
Tea.
करेला.
Beverage.
Karela juice.
Beverage. Nothing.
Rapid fire, come on.
That's okay. That's okay. Kada, of course, nobody likes. So that's it.
Okay. Okay, next
For me, it's a
question.
beverage. रोज पीना पड़ता है क्योंकि इसलिए.
I can understand. Me too. Okay, next question. If you were to go missing, where would we most likely find you?
Goa.
Paris.
Super corridor in Indore.
Okay. Okay, next. Which reality show do you think you're most likely to win?
Selling Sunset.
Shark Tank.
The reality show that I want to be in, उसमें कुछ winning जैसा नहीं होता. It's a journey. So beg, borrow, steal. I want to be in that show.
Okay. So a song that you are listening on loop these days.
Savage Love.
Okay. It's yeah, Savage Love because of our kid. Whole day he listens to that.
Right. So next we have, are you a dog person or a cat person?
Dog.
Dog person.
Great. What are you currently watching on Netflix?
We watch Friends every day from past 10 years, so I think that is always there.
What about
Yeah,
you?
at least like 10-15 minutes we watch. And we right now, like the way we watch movies is it parts. 15 minutes today and then 20 minutes during dinner and next day 30 minutes like that. So we complete a movie in 2-3 days now.
I generally don't get time to. Sorry, मैं नहीं देख पा रही.
Okay. Okay, what is your guilty pleasure? Come on, quickly.
Riding car.
Chocolate.
I don't have answer right now, so pass.
Okay. Next, beach or mountains?
Beach.
Mountains.
Anusha, what about you?
Beach.
Beach. Okay. Next is chai or coffee.
Coffee.
Hi.
Okay. Which TV show would you want to be in? TV
Gossip
Shark
series.
Girl.
Tank. Shark Tank.
Same like Boro Steel.
Okay. So last question: are you a morning person or a night owl?
Not at all.
Yes.
I'm a super night,
I
deep
can be
night
either.
person.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
Alok got up, I think, 2 minutes before this talk show.
Okay, so
All right.
those
So
are all
after
the
this,
questions.
after this rapid fire round, fun and question on a lighter note to Alok and Anusha. So, we all have seen two states, and yes, we are aware of the Anusha there in two states. But yes, we are not aware of the story of Anusha that we have in IIM Raipur. So, anything that insight from that story you guys want to share?
Alok, you want to start?
Yeah, like it was quite, when we were in college, like we never thought about, like where she's from and all, right? And we had a lot of things in common because she was from Bangalore and I worked in Bangalore in Mysore for quite some time. And I used to, and I'm a kind of a foodie from any place, anywhere, if the food is good, I like it. It be South Indian, North Indian, Mexican, anywhere, right? So it was always like like we had a lot of things in common, so that was never an issue during the college times. But then like when we had to go through the process of marriage and meeting people and all, it was because there was a language barrier, because even it was difficult to communicate with like the family members and all. We did face that, and culturally also, there were a lot of things which were done differently. But again, a lot of things which were very similar, but it's a different way of doing it, right? So it was kind of difficult, but Anusha and I had so much in common that we never felt anything which is different, right? So that journey is again very smooth, but yeah, during the marriage and all, it was kind of different.
It began with friendship. So we are best friends. In IIM Raipur, when we joined, it was difficult for everyone in the initial days because you've come from your job or something, and there are so many assignments, so many lectures, and so much to do, no time to sleep, and you're missing home. So all these things we were going through, and Alok and I, at that point of time, we were there for each other. We became really good friends, and after that, even when we started doing our jobs, we used to always share everything with each other. So even now, I think our relationship is strongly based on friendship first.
That's really amazing to know, and I'm sure the audience out here will take it as a serious advice. Going forward, let's have a quick last remark from all of our panelists. Let's start with the Shubhi first, and then Alok and Anshan.
रिमार्क बस यही बोलेंगे कि it is on your shoulders to make your life interesting or boring. Excel in one thing, but don't leave the other things that makes you complete. And when I say traffic makes me complete, or even I don't know where my life will take me to, but there will definitely be one thing that I'll be working for society for sure. Even I don't know where my life will take me to, but definitely एक चीज होगी जो हम जरूर एक्स्ट्रा करेंगे apart from माटी वाला. RJ also is not something कि मैं बोलूंगी बहुत ज्यादा मेरा पैशन है, but I love doing it now. So yeah, जाते जाते बस यही बोलेंगे multitasking, and yeah, that's it.
My like one thing I would like to, there are many things as advice you can get from mentors and all, right? My suggestion would be that like among your batchmates, right, there will be a few people who will be starting their own business or anything of that sort, right? So try to support that, right? I think that is something, even if you, because of like your obligation towards education loan or rent or family, you have to support your family, You cannot get into entrepreneurship yourself at this stage, right? But if there are other people who are doing it, support them as much as possible. And like even I think, I don't know, like about Shubhi, but like what we experienced was that your first circle of people, when you initially start, you would expect that people will order from your website and all these things, right? It never happens. Like the first circle of people who are directly in touch with you, they will never, like, I don't know why it happens like that. But I consciously keep in mind, like, if somebody is starting, I support that, right? So, like, when we went to Bangalore this time, my friend started this ceramic coating thing, right? So, there was a car at our place, Anusha's place, right? It's a 15-year-old Santro. It does not need ceramic coating, right? But I just said that, go ahead and do this car, right? Kind of, it was just a way of supporting. And he was very happy about it that, like he said that, I'll do a good job, I'll make it new. And so it was like, like ways of supporting. And I feel that you should, whenever you get a chance, you should support people in this manner, right? It can be either by purchasing or by just telling 5 other people. You just tell, like, we met Shubhi today, we heard about Matiwala, right? Next time I talk about, anybody talks about gardening, I'll definitely talk about, like her brand. And that is something I would suggest everyone to do. And it is just, like something what Shubhi is doing, like giving back to the society kind of a thing. Sometimes giving back to the society need not be, like so big also. It can be a small thing of, just promoting a friend's brand. So I would suggest everyone that you do that, and that will really give you satisfaction also, as well as that other person needs it. Right?
Yeah, and don't ask for discounts, because in the beginning people are just trying to make sales, and every time somebody said give me discount, more discount, so don't ask for discounts. And what I would like to tell you all is that what I've already said before, whatever you are good at, pursue that. If you don't know what you are good at, try to identify. There will be something which you really excel at, and it could be totally unrelated to what you're doing right now. But if you have the opportunity to pursue it in any manner, then you will definitely excel in it and you will be happy in your life. So that is my message to you.
Right. Thank you, all of us. Thank you, all of you. This
Thank
brings
you
us to
too.
the end of our talk show. We would have loved to host you all on our beautiful campus, and we wish we could have another round of conversation with all of our students. And as a token of gratitude, IIM Raipur will be reaching out to you very soon for mementos, which will be engraved in all our memories forever. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.